He's the co-host, Morning Drive, 710 ESPN LA. Of course, he's a former member of the New York Jets, a Super Bowl champion with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers under John Gruden, former Dallas Cowboy as well. I won't hold that against him. I'm talking about my buddy, the one and only, Keyshawn Johnson. He's on the line with us right now. What's going on, big time? How are you, man?
What's happening, man? Stop bragging about being in 250 markets.
What's wrong with that? I'm just letting the world know that I'm in 250 markets. What's the problem? They hearing you right now, ain't they? Yo, King, listen, man, let's get right to it because I got a couple of things that I have to ask you. The news just came out literally during the commercial break. I just saw it anyway. Todd Haley is out as the offensive coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Your thoughts about that?
I think it's a little ridiculous, but I also understand when things don't go according to plan, somebody's got to be the fall guy. And a lot of this, a lot of it smells like Ben Roethlisberger to me. But I'm on the outside looking in. I really don't have all the intimate details. Mm-hmm. But it sounds like a situation where you got the quarterback kind of throwing people under the bus slightly, and then how this noise started to happen where you score, you're the third offense in the National Football League. Your career has certainly been on the upswing since Todd Haley's been the offensive coordinator. You've played crazy. Now all of a sudden he's not good enough because he was the side of the ball that gave up 50 points to the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's Todd Haley.
Last 4 years, Steelers made the playoffs. In terms of yards, they ranked second once, third twice, and seventh, not this season, but last season. That's the offense under Todd Haley. So, I mean,
that's pretty dynamic,
impressive.
Wouldn't you say?
That's pretty impressive, but it says to me also that, evidently, I get your point about Big Ben, but have you ever had any issue with Todd Haley's play calling at all?
No, I really haven't, because I guess for me, to be honest with you, I kind of understand what the offensive coordinators are asking in terms of dialing up plays. Mm-hmm. You take, for instance, the 4th and 2 when Big Ben tried to throw across the middle to Juju Smith.
Right.
That play's not designed to throw down the middle of the field. It's designed to check it down. It's a design play to check it down. Get the first down. Just check it down, get the first down. That's all you got to do. You don't have to be the hero. So a lot of times when we see that as viewers, the first thing we say is, why would Todd Haley call that play? Mm. Why would he call that play? That's what we say. I
got you. Keyshawn Johnson right here with Stephen A. on ESPN Radio. Let's move on to some other subjects. I haven't had an opportunity to talk to you since the Rams got bounced out of the postseason by the Atlanta Falcons more than a week ago. What were your thoughts about this season? What happened to them come playoff time?
Well, I think you got, number one, it was a terrific season. I mean, I had them winning 5 games. They certainly won the division. Jared Goff finally started to look like an NFL quarterback. Todd Gurley was an major MVP candidate. Sean McVay came in with his little mini Gruden act and put things together and got them into the playoffs. But the inexperience kind of hurt them. They'll never tell you that, but you could certainly see some of the mistakes that they were making against the Atlanta Falcons that they didn't realize the tempo of the playoffs was going to rise a little bit more. And next time around, I think they'll be more prepared with a little more experience to be able to take on a team and advance further into the playoffs.
What do you mean, for a second? Let me go back to your initial comment. What do you mean his mini Gruden act? Mini John Gruden, I'm assuming you were talking about. What does that mean?
Man, he reminds, I tell him all the time. Sean McVay remind me so much of Gruden when he calling plays, just his voice, because we get him on the air with us a lot because he's here in L.A. Every time I listen, I got to listen real careful because I ain't sure if I'm talking to John or if I'm talking to Sean. And you remember, Sean was with us in Tampa. Right. He was actually one of our little, he was one of the managers of the football team with us. So I tongue-in-cheek him all day long about being a little mini group.
Keyshawn Johnson right here with Stephen A. And by the way, Keyshawn Johnson will join Boomer, that's Chris Berman and Tom Jackson, on Championship Sunday edition of NFL Primetime. So make sure y'all don't miss it. Speaking of Gruden, I haven't had an opportunity to ask you about your former coach, your former Super Bowl champion coach, landing the job with the Oakland Raiders. Look, Keyshawn, I ain't mad at the man. I would have taken the money as well. Please don't get me wrong. 10 years, $100 million guaranteed. Bonuses that escalated to 120 from what I'm hearing. Could you explain to me why Oakland would feel the need to give him that kind of money, those kind of guaranteed dollars, when a man hasn't coached since 2008, and the 6 years prior to that, it was a 45-51 record, 0-2 in the postseason. Could you explain that to me?
Well, I think Stephen Smith, that, they have a great relationship in terms of understanding who he is, and Reggie McKenzie. Now, look, I know the reported numbers are 100, 120 million, I can almost certainly guarantee you that it's not a fully guaranteed contract. There's some outs in there somewhere. I mean, he's getting a handsome ransom for however long he's going to be coaching, but he hasn't forgot how to coach. Even though he's been gone away from the game for a while, he's still kind of been around the game on Monday Night Football. So you would think hiring certain coordinators and assistant coaches that have been in the league could certainly help, that learning curve that this team is going to learn under with a new head coach. So I'm not really overly concerned with that. I think more so when you're paying a guy in upwards of whatever the numbers truly really are, it's a lot that hasn't really been around coaching for a while. What are you expecting if you're the Oakland Raiders? Are you looking for instant gratification, or are you willing to wait several years to get into a deep run into the postseason? Or are you looking at this and saying the AFC will eventually be wide open because Tom Brady is getting ready to walk away at some point in time?
And Big Ben.
And Big Ben and the staff. So now it's the perfect time to strike.
And I'm thinking, so then, therefore, you shouldn't have any problem with my expectations that if you're going to pay the man $100 million, he should deliver a Super Bowl within in about 4 years, shouldn't you say?
4 years. If they paid him $3 million a year, 4 years is plenty of time with that roster to advance deep into an AFC championship caliber football team with 4 years. You don't even need, you know what I'm saying? Any coach with 4 years with that roster that's worth anything should be able to get them to an AFC championship game.
Gotcha.
In 4 years.
Gotcha.
I mean, think about it. In 4 years?
That's right.
I mean, how much are you really going to change? Carr ain't going nowhere. Crabtree ain't going nowhere. Cooper ain't going nowhere. You may address the running back issue to some degree. You got the highest paid offensive line. It's still pretty good. So you're really not addressing a whole lot. Maybe the secondary, maybe a linebacker or two.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
Works for me. Keyshawn right here with Stephen A. on ESPN Radio. Let's get to these conference championship games. Jacksonville, New England. Who you got and why?
I'm going to take New England, obviously, man. They playing at home. Not only are you playing against the New England Patriots, you're playing against Foxborough. You're playing against possibly guys that wear stripes, but I ain't saying who they are. I mean, you play. It's a lot. You stacking the deck when you going up to Foxborough thinking you fit to beat Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. That's just not something that they do. They don't lose at home, in particular in the playoffs.
Any issue with the Steelers running them out before they played Jacksonville last Sunday?
No, because that's not bulletin board material. All that is for people like us that do sports talk radio and television to come on after they lose and say, see, they should have been quiet. Because grown men don't feed off of stuff like that, because if Pittsburgh would have won the game, we wouldn't even be saying nothing. We would just be like, oh, Pittsburgh wasn't going to lose to them a second time, yada, 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 yada. But because they lost, we now can sit up there and point to them saying something and losing the game.
Listen to Keyshawn using words like us and we as it pertains to the media. I'm very proud of you, big boy. I'm very, very proud. Let's get to the NFC. Well, go ahead. Say what you got to say.
That was a slip up. That was a slip up on my part.
I knew it. That's why I brought it up. What about the NFC Championship game? Philadelphia hosting Minnesota, the luckiest team alive as far as I'm concerned. Philly hosting Minnesota. What's up?
But why you say they lucky?
Oh, because of that last
lucky?
play. Come on now, Keyshawn. Look, man, I'm in a good mood. Don't you start with me. You know good and damn well that touchdown to Diggs. I mean, Marcus Williams, God bless him. He's just a rookie. It's a mistake. He'll have a bright career. But a mistake like that, how lucky can you be if you're Minnesota? Stop it, Keyshawn.
If he open his eyes, it ain't a mistake. You can't hit nothing you can't see.
Oh, Lord. Really? That's where we going? That's where we going?
Open your eyes, son.
All right.
All you got to do is open your eyes. You hit the dude, you open your eyes. He closed his eyes. Anybody that played football and know football can tell based on his approach and his body, that his eyes was closed. We don't get that camera shot because it's all from the back end.
Right.
But he certainly closed his eyes. And, yes, at the end of the day, it was pure luck. It's been a luck fest for them. Think about it. Teddy Bridgewater goes down a couple years ago. They bring in Sam Bradford. The team looks really good, playoff run, the whole deal, yada, yada, yada. Now, all of a sudden, Bradford goes down. Case Keenum comes in, and he looks like Aaron Rodgers. So it turns into a situation where they play great defense. They're at home. If they can force Nick Foles into making some mistakes and turnovers, because he's thrown a lot of interceptions, guys just aren't catching them. If they can hold on to him, then Minnesota, I believe, will be playing New England in their own home field. They won't have to leave at all. They can ride right up the street, stay in their own homes come Super Bowl time.
So you're predicting Minnesota's going to beat Philly in Philly Sunday?
No, it's in Minnesota.
No. I'm saying to you, Minnesota comes to Philadelphia this weekend for the NFC Championship game. You think they're going to win that game?
I do.
Oh,
I do.
Look, man, you go back and do your TV, man. I can't wait to see
but
you and Boom and Tom Jackson.
But you're a Philly guy.
I'm not a Philly guy. I'm from New York City. Watch your mouth. I'm from New York.
You're a Philly. You covered the Philadelphia. What is it?
That's right. I worked for the Philadelphia Inquirer for 17 years. Yes, that was true. That is true.
I don't need all them years. I just know you worked for them.
All right. There you go.
I know you covered the Eagles when we smacked them. I know that much.
I know that much. You saw me in the locker room after the game, too. You ain't got to rub it in, though. You ain't got to rub it in. Bye, Keyshawn.
Hey, wait, hold on, though.
Go ahead.
Check this out. What you think about the minority owners wanting Tomlin out?
I think they're insane. They got a lot of damn nerves. It's a disgrace. 116-60 is his record. As many years as he's taken them to the playoffs, he's a Super Bowl champion. If Mike Tomlin deserves to be unemployed, a whole bunch of coaches should be fired. That's my take.
No, but you know what, though? See, I'm the type of dude, as soon as I start to hear that chatter from Mike Tomlin, first thing I'm going to say is, if that's what the Rooneys want to do, let's make it happen. Because I know I'm going to get another job.
That's true.
Too good of a coach to be on the streets. Like you said, it's a whole lot of jokers that need to be fired as head coaches if Mike Tomlin going to be on the streets.
Amen, brother. Amen. Appreciate you, man. Can't wait to see you Sunday night. Take it easy. Keyshawn Johnson, he's going to join Boom and Tom Jackson on Championship Sunday edition of NFL Prime Time. Boy, do I miss Boom and Tom Jackson. And Keyshawn, by the way, even though I hear him all the time in L.A. But I miss Boom and Tom Jackson. I can't wait till Sunday night. I just can't wait. That's must-see TV, Boom and Tom Jackson doing post-game highlights. I'm here to tell you that right now.